What's going on, everybody? Today we have a very, very special guest. I know I say it a lot, but this is a very special guest. This guy is Mike Fallett. He's got the #1 book creation platform for entrepreneurs. He's basically uses a book to create revenue streams. So if you have a business and you're a small business owner and you want to really dial down your process, what you're doing and how you're trying to sell it, and how you're trying to present it, Mike's got a fantastic process. Very, very unique. I had a pleasure of meeting him in Destin, Florida at Chris Rude's event just about a month and a half ago. So welcome to the show, brother, man.
Hey, I'm excited to be here. Yeah, dude, it was great. The Destin event with Chris Rude. Met a lot of patriots, a lot of people who are free thinkers like yourself. And I'm thrilled to be here and get into the conversation about maybe entrepreneurship, what's happening in the economy, and then even talking about the book process and why people should write a book and use it as a way to make lots of money through many different revenue streams.
Right on. Well, let's just take a step back and give us a backstory of how what you were doing before you got in this business and what inspired you to kind of be in the space that you're in now.
Yeah. So people think that we've put together 300 and some books, start to finish. We have 268 bestsellers on Amazon. It's, people look at me and they think that I'm this guy who has been reading books his whole life. And that is absolutely false. I didn't really start to read a book until I was 23 years old, after I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the book that changed my life. I went to school all through high school, grade school, college. I was a BC student. Honestly, I didn't care at all about reading or writing. When I first started a business, so at 23, Rich Dad, Poor Dad got me on the path of personal development. And that's whenever I got my real estate license. That's when I got into investing in 4-unit building right away after that book. That's when I started putting together all kinds of startup ideas that failed miserably, but it gave me this sense of freedom, this personal freedom. And I wanted to become this entrepreneur that was in many different industries. 4 failures in a row led me into a 5th business called Doggy Surprise. It's called direct-to-home dog product service, just because I love dogs, and it made some money. So all of a sudden, people started coming to me and saying, hey, it looks like you have this 4-unit building. You're a real estate agent. You have this direct-to-home dog product service. How do you start a business? And that's when I had the bright idea of writing a book called Dream Starter in 2015. And then all of a sudden, people started looking at me very differently. I became an Amazon bestseller. It's pretty easy to do if you know the game. Become an Amazon bestseller. I started getting speaking events. People started following me online. I started helping people not only start businesses, but also giving them pointers on how to write their own book. And 2015 till now, 7 years, 300 and some books later, I've got to meet some of the most successful entrepreneurs, billionaires. I've been on certain stages all across the United States. I've been traveling all the world, around the United States, meeting many of my clients in person, and just having a hell of a time. I realized that the book set me apart from many different people. And once I started getting in the right circles, I realized how you can leverage a book the right way, creating many different revenue streams, courses, webinars, apparel, membership portals, tribes, affiliations. All of this can help you increase your net worth, but also, your stories. Your stories get a lot better when you are in the right rooms. And I realized that the book set me apart, but it's not just me. When I help people write books, their lives become completely different. It's not just financially, though. They know themselves a little bit more. And I think clarity gives you an advantage. Writing does that for you. I think that the ability of, if you can articulate your message, who you are, where you come from, and where you're going, that's going to help the market know all about you. It's going to make it easy for people to do business with you. And that right there can make your life a lot easier going forward. So it all started from a failure to a success, to a book, to a whole new life.
So what is the secret sauce to get yourself to the Amazon bestseller list?
Great question.
Or is it something you just got to be well connected?
Yep. So if you ever read the book, Robert Cialdini's book called Influence, you're going to realize the importance of being a bestseller. What does bestseller mean? All it means is that there is social evidence, social proof built in to whatever you put out into the world. So you need to become an Amazon bestseller. How do you become that? Well, it's a game. Amazon is just a computer program. So when you're looking at it, you're able to see a thing called sales ranks on every product and every book that's sold on Amazon. So at the very bottom of the page, it says, what's the Amazon sales rank? And then you're able to go one level deeper into the categories that are associated with that book. So you'll be able to see that there are probably hundreds, maybe thousands of different categories. And if you're in this game long enough, you'll be able to realize that certain categories kind of stall at certain times of the day and even certain times of the week, which gives you this advantage in saying, you know what, maybe I'm not going to go against Tony Robbins because Tony Robbins is Tony Robbins, but I can go against somebody else in the world that's pretty similar to me. So I could beat them. And all I need to do is figure out how many I need to sell on a certain day at a certain time. Velocity will beat, I guess you could say, mass quantity. If I could sell 100 in 10 minutes, that's actually better than 500 over 24 hours. So I can beat people pretty easily, putting me to number one in that category. And now I'm able to take the screenshots. I'm able to add the bestseller logo. The world can see it. I can add that bestseller logo to my book, put it all over my bio, have the social evidence presented for my audience. And now I have something that other people do not. I'm an Amazon best-selling author. Right. And if used properly, it's like your sword. It's like your trophy. It's like your wrestling belt. You have something that's pretty significant that most people want to have in their life. They just don't know the game. So leverage, positioning, and timing on Amazon can get you that pretty easily.
So let's just switch gears a little bit here. So as far as, obviously you have done 268 books that are Amazon bestsellers.
Yep.
So these aren't just like regular mom and pop, these are high level people. So how do you meet these high level people? How do you surround yourself with those high level people?
Well, I say a high level. When you say high level, you're probably thinking maybe financially, right? I think of high caliber individuals because when I first started my book, I wasn't a high level person in my mind. I was a guy that could help maybe someone start a business and go from $10,000 to a $40,000 business. By the way, that was my idea of success. Can I make money with this startup? So I wrote this book and it became an Amazon bestseller. So it's pretty easily done because I had certain friends and family and all that could just buy the book on a certain day. I kind of was winging it, but I had someone that I was asking questions on how to do it. So I get to meet a lot of people either starting businesses, have created a successful business, or they've done so much in their life that it's now time to give back to the world. So I meet these people probably more so than anything else from referrals. High value people are usually surrounded by high value people. So if you're able to prove yourself to someone that's very valuable, and that's my phrase, I always say, be valuable to valuable people. It's amazing. They are a satellite to the people in their network. It's almost like there is something about them that their network sees in themselves. So all of a sudden, if you're valuable to one person, like a Mark Evans DM, like a Joe Evangelisti, like a Chris Rude, like Nick Santanastasso, these are all big speakers out there. But if you're valuable to them and you're able to prove yourself, now they're going to say, hey, you know what? You've come through for me. There's a lot of bullshitters out there. There's a lot of people who are fake that just will say something and then never deliver. You actually delivered. You made it easy for me to accomplish something I've always wanted to accomplish. They're going to share your name, especially if they're high valued individuals. So you start to get into these circles, which leads into different masterminds, which leads into other circles. And now all of a sudden you are in rooms with people that 4 years prior, 5 years prior, I was only dreaming of like, man, I'd love to meet that person. I'd love to hang out with that person. I'm reading their books now. Like, you meet these people who are, 4 years ago, maybe they were just getting started or they were doing really well. It's not too far off. If you meet the right people, a lot of individuals in the real estate world, in the entrepreneur game, they all kind of know each other. So if you screw someone over, chances are it'll ripple into that network also. But if you do really well for them, chances are your name will ripple into that pool of water also. So I think it's based off of connections. I think it's based off of branding and marketing. I didn't get into this, with the know-how of how to market a book service. So I started off by being very risque. I mean, if you see how I post things now, I'm quite controversial for a reason. I want to filter out the people who are not on my side, and I want to attract people who really believe in what I believe. But when I first started, I didn't get that. 2018, 2019, I started to make a transformation on who I was and what I want the world to know about me. But with 2017, when I was just kind of finding my way, I had a lot of sex appeal to this brand. I was a book creation service. How do I set myself apart with no money? Well, hiring a bunch of models. I had a lot of models associated with my brand. The sex appeal was through the roof. And I started to tell people, hey, the most attractive part of you is your story. So get it out there. So I had models after models, and it was pretty trashy at some points, but damn, did it work.
You took the page out of Ty Lopez's book, huh?
Yeah, everybody kept calling me the Hugh Hefner of books, or the Dan Bilzerian of books, or the Ty Lopez of books. That was what I was known for.
That's awesome. So let's now talk about, obviously you have to have a story. You've got to have some ideas. Take us through that process now. Someone says, I'm ready to share my wisdom with the world. How does that process now look, working with your team to get that book published and be an Amazon bestseller?
Yes. So my first question to everyone is, how do you see yourself making your money a year from now? And if I were to ask you that, Art, what is your answer?
Real estate, and more real estate.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Books. Now you.
But if you want to make your money through real estate, now all you got to say is, okay, well, if I want to make my money there, well, guess what? I got to be known for that. I need to attract people in that world. I need to attract investors, maybe clients, maybe affiliates. I need to be known for that, because the market only gives you what you're known for. Okay. So you don't get what you want, you get what you deserve, right? So you basically, you're only going to get opportunities if the world knows that you're looking for those opportunities. So what I would say is, okay, write down generic lessons that you could teach someone that could help someone maybe in your past spot in life where you're maybe 5 years ago. Who could you help in your past that could help them get to where you're at now? Okay. If I want to be known as the real estate guy, I got to provide lessons that will help other people get to at least where I'm at right now. That way, due to the laws of the universe, maybe if I help enough people get to where they want to go, I'm going to be able to get to where I want to go. So start now jotting down lessons that you could help other people with in their lives. 15 lessons. This is the magic number, guys. 15 magic lessons that change your life. It could be as simple as vision, simplicity, joining masterminds, creating a podcast, whatever taught you about success that got you here, write that down. Now, here's the second piece. Put a dash and say, do I have a specific story that taught me this lesson? Well, lesson number one is joining masterminds. The way I learned this was I joined Chris Rude's event and became part of his Allies Mastermind, because that opened up doors to, different software programs, different states of mind, maybe new books, all of this. Okay, well, I got the lesson. Now I combine it with the story. And as long as I know who the target audience is, which most likely it's either someone who you were, someone who you are, or someone who you want to be around, one of those three, figure out that target audience. So lesson combined with story geared towards a specific audience. What I recommend now is to go to a ghostwriter. That's what we do. Okay. So obviously you can go and write this book yourself. But if you have ever read the book, Who Not How, it's all about outsourcing your weaknesses. So if you sit down with a ghostwriter, the reason why it's so powerful is because the Socratic method is automatically implemented. So if you're familiar with the Socratic method, question, answer, question, answer. If you're going to write the book yourself, jot down 1,000 questions you want to ask yourself and then just answer that in the book. Or hire a company like us that will sit down with you for 2 hours one day and 2 hours another day and say, hey, lesson number one is all about getting into the right masterminds. What does this mean to you? And how did you learn this lesson? And that way, the Socratic method is implemented into the conversation and your brain starts to answer all the questions that are presented to you. So during that call, your words are actually recorded on a Zoom call. My writer will sit down afterwards and listen to your conversation and then write it up for you. This is not a transcription service. This is a human being that will write the book for you. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm going to go back to that 1 second. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, when I realized that it was actually written by a woman named Sharon Lechter and not Robert Kiyosaki, That's what blew my mind. I said to myself, wait a second, if I can make it easy for the everyday entrepreneur to write a book, use it as a marketing tool, and maybe create their own Rich Dad, Poor Dad events, just like Robert Kiyosaki did, now I have something. All I got to do is worry about time, and I got to worry about cost. If I could speed up the time of ghostwriting, which usually is about a year, and I can save money on it, which usually is about $100,000, man, I can have every entrepreneur, no matter where they're at in this world, to get their book done, use it properly, and generate a lot of attention. So that's what we started doing. And that's what we do for people now. We would interview 4 hours over, 2 days, maybe 3 days total. It's usually back-to-back days, 2 hours one day, 2 hours another day. Go over the 15 lessons. Your job's done. 30 days later, you receive a book in your inbox that is 120 pages, at least 25,000 words, which is about an hour and a half read. Okay. The reason why that's important is because you're building a relationship with someone. You do not want to have everything you've ever known in this world to be put into a book. Otherwise, it'll be thousands of pages thick. You want it to be read in 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours max. We call them airplane books. You're going to read it, make any adjustment necessary. This is still in a Word document. So you fine tune it, clean it up, take out what you don't like, add in stuff you forgot to tell me, make it yours. This is another part of the process that's very important, because once it's there in front of you and your eyes are able to see it, you're able to think of things you never even thought of. Oh my God, this story, here it is. You know what? It makes me think about that when my dad taught me about business. Let me add that in here. Oh, you know what? My grandfather actually kind of told me this when I was 7 years old. Let me put that quick little story in. So you fine tune it to your liking. You send it back to us. We do a clean edit, clean format it, and get it ready for print. In addition, I help you out with title and subtitle. You always want to go with the title after the content is written. So the way I look at it is you want to marry the title to the content. You do not want to marry the content to the title. What that means is so many people come to me and they say, Mike, I want to write a book called X. And I'll be like, whoa, you know what? You're kind of screwing yourself over, because if you do an interview process or if you start to write, you're automatically going to think, man, I got to make everything go back to this title. That's not good. You want to get the content built and then put the title to it. Stick to 3-4 words max, create a simple how-to or an ultimate guide subtitle, make it simple for the reader to look at and say, damn, this book is going to help me invest in real estate. Oh, this is how you grow the mindset of the wealthy entrepreneur or of the wealthy investor when it comes to real estate. That's what this book will do for me. I want it. That is key. So I help you out with title and subtitle after the content is created. We go to cover design. You achieve a bunch of cover designs. You're able to choose as many, you get probably about 25, but you choose as many as you'd like and say, hey, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. And then we'll fine tune down to your favorite cover. Simplicity is always best, guys. So if you're out there thinking, man, what's the perfect cover? Keep it simple. The world is not going to beat down the door trying to figure out who you are and what you want. It's basically, is it going to help them? Is that eye catchy? Can I read that? Does it make sense? So you figure out the cover that makes sense to you based off of colors with your brand. I see that you have a lot of white and black with your brand. Keep it as close to your current brand as much as possible. So now the book is done. You fine tune it. You pick your favorite cover, goes to a final editing phase, goes to Amazon. Amazon will print the book for $4. Nobody really knows this. You can upload a book right now for no money. Amazon will print it for $4. You get it in the mail. And I don't know if this is going to be recorded all through video, but just to give you an idea of what some of our covers look like. Get it printed, looks beautiful. Paperback, hardcover, Kindle version. You get the paperback in the mail. You look at it.
That's an awesome book, by the way. The Meconomy. I just read that. That just came out a couple months ago.
Hell yeah, Meconomy. How to control every part of your life. I love how it opens, by the way. I'm sitting here with a Glock in my hand and it's great. That's my type of book. So yeah, Meconomy, phenomenal book. If you're out there to pick up a book, it's going to, help you control your life. Anyways, paperback, you get it in the mail. It's finally real. This is another element to the process that means a lot, because you're finally able to see it, feel it, touch it, realize that it is an actual book. This is going to open up your eyes to a little bit more. Oh my God, I forgot. Let me add this one last picture, this one last graph, or one last story, because Jordan Peterson, one of my mentors, one of the big heroes in my life, he always says, in order to succeed at anything, you need to create a bad first draft. Okay. In anything. Do you want to learn how to dance? create a bad first draft of that dance. You want to play guitar, create a bad first draft. You want to write a book, get a draft done. It's going to change your life. So now you're able to see it, feel it, touch it, make any adjustment necessary. You send it back to us. We do a clean edit, clean format, and then we put you on the schedule to become an Amazon bestseller. So what we do then is we do a little bit of research. We figure out this category on this day is usually low demand. Let's beat these suckers. And then we put you in there. Our network buys it. Your network buys it. 8 hours later, you're an Amazon bestseller. You add the logo. People think that's the end. Hell no. That's when the fun begins. Now you create a funnel. Now you create a membership portal. Now you create apparel. You use the book as a magnet. Hey, do you want to learn how to invest in real estate? Get a copy of my book for free, by the way. All you got to do is pay for shipping. Now, why is that important? You're creating a buying relationship. Once you have the data, the phone number, the address, the email, you can send them voicemail drops, emails, text messages. Hey, do you want to join this webinar? Hey, do you want this podcast list? Do you want to listen to this podcast? Do you want this apparel? Oh, you know what? If you like all of the stuff I'm saying, maybe you'll join my group for $17.76 per month. And by the way, once you're in this group, you're going to have access to other like-minded entrepreneurs who share the same values. And now if you want to work with them, by the way, go work with this person and there's an affiliate link. Now, once you click that link and you're a part of it, you as the membership owner, the group creator, the tribe builder can make money off of affiliates. So now you keep scaling that and scaling that. You build a tribe and now you can monetize that 1,000 ways, including creating some type of investment pool. Hey, you know what? I have a deal coming up. You want to invest? We have a relationship built up. Now I can go after unaccredited investors. We have this relationship for 6 months. We now know each other. I trust you. You trust me. Or maybe if you want to do accredited investors only, you all of a sudden have opportunity after opportunity wherever you want to take it. It all starts with the book. They now know art equals real estate. And once they have that set up, that flag is in the air, people are drawn to it. And damn, now you're the real estate guy. You are the expert. You're the influencer. You're the best-selling author. You're more committed than the next person.
Yeah, that's amazing advice. That's powerful. That's right awesome. There. That was so much.
That's incredible.
That was so much right there. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. The book stuff is awesome. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the inflation we're seeing with the market and the interest rates. And can you just touch? I know I'll follow you a lot. You're like the meme king. I consider you the meme king. I see all your stuff and your stories. So talk about that a little bit. What do you see the next 12 to 24 months coming down the pike? And how is your business going to be affected? How is real estate going to be affected?
Well, 2020 scared the hell out of me in March of 2020. I had one revenue stream. I was the book guy, right? I didn't have the funnels. I didn't have the software. I didn't have the apparel. I didn't have the investments. I didn't have all kinds of crazy stuff. So when all that started to happen, my mind went into overdrive. Okay, I'm weak because if this one revenue stream drops, I'm in trouble. So I created 4 or 5 different revenue streams. I started lending my money out. I created a magazine. I created affiliations. I created this software program. I just went into overdrive. And it wasn't a lot of money right then and there, but over time it would grow. So what do I see coming down the pike? I think they're going to print and print and print way more money left and right, which means property values are going to skyrocket. All the prices are going to go up. And the people who are in the middle class and the poor are just going to keep getting crushed and crushed and crushed the more this happens. So there's no way to stop that. But what you can do is you could protect yourself. I was just on a call right before this. It is incredible that people are seeing this inflation. By the way, they say 7.8%. It's probably 20%. If you look at property values and rents, 20% probably is what it really is at. So if you see that happening and it's going to get worse, you need to protect yourself by creating multiple revenue streams. So I'm looking at investments with dog insurance companies now. That's what I'm looking to invest in. I'm looking at certain things that most likely recession or any type of business that's not going to be affected by a major recession. It may happen, may not, but my goal is just to create multiple revenue streams. This is a foot on the back of my neck, even to like say, you better freaking make some moves now, Mike. You need to do something now more than ever. I need to have 10 times the revenue streams that I have right now, a year from now. So that's forcing me to create more membership portals, invest in other people, join more masterminds, create other revenue streams associated with the book, write more books, invest in companies that have nothing to do with books. Like, I'm starting to protect myself and just get ready because I think it's going to get crazy. I got into crypto. I'm getting prepared for that. I don't understand that whole world as much as a lot of other people, but you need to really start to take some action. And I think that this is what's teaching me. Hey, this world, what we're seeing, the inflation that's going to be skyrocketing more and more as time goes on. If you're not doing something right now, you are going to be kicking yourself a year from now. It is making the wealthy extremely wealthy right now. People think this is actually hurting the wealthy. Hell no. Right now, everybody in my circle, I'm seeing the really successful individuals, they're just going to keep crushing it. It's just another signal to put your foot on the gas, make more of yourself, become more, maybe get away from the fear as much because people are so afraid of putting themselves online. Maybe you start to create a little bit more when it comes to content on your YouTube channel, your Facebook channel, your Instagram, your Truth Social, your Twitter. Put yourself out there more, become more of a magnet, and stop worrying about what other people are thinking, because the world is closing in on people who think like us, and you need to do something more now than ever.
Yeah. Just going back, I just seen that you're publishing a book yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about that book?
Yeah.
And when that's coming out?
Yep. $1 Million book later this month. I don't know when this will be published, this episode, but the book is coming out in May of 2022. And we got all kinds of surprises. It's called $1 Million Book, How to Publish a Book and Generate Wealth Without Even Selling It. And it does kind of explain some of the things we went over on this call, but it really outlines writing makes you a force to be reckoned with. When you have a book, you become clear on who you are, where you're going, and what you want out of life. That in itself makes you a magnet for wealth. But also the fact that once you have a book, you set yourself apart. You have this chainsaw that cuts through noise, and then you're able to create the right funnels. I'm a fan of a program called Go High Level. It's what we use. A lot of people use Kajabi. A lot of people use ClickFunnels. We use Go High Level because it's everything in one. So then if you have the book, you have the portal, you have all the revenue streams attached to it. You have ways to send voicemail drops, text messages, emails, and it kind of guides you through not only the beginning phase of what to write about, how to get it done, how to actually become an Amazon bestseller, and then how to use it properly so you can create revenue streams to fight off the insane inflation that we're going to see more and more.
Right on. As far as masterminds, obviously we're in the Mark Evans DM mastermind. How many masterminds are you a part of?
Oh man. So yeah, Mark Evans DM, he's changed my life. If you guys don't know Mark Evans DM, look him up. That dude changed my life. A couple of years ago, he called me up. He said, "Hey, I'm Mark Evans DM. I want to do a book." And I said, "I really don't know who you are, but okay. Well, here it is. Here's the invoice." He paid instantly. All right. The moment he paid, I think it was $7,500 at the time. He paid instantly. I knew that this guy was serious. So once again, that was just through, I guess, luck. He saw one of my other clients. He said, "Hey, looks like he knows what he's doing when it comes to books." We did a book, changed my life. Over time, he created a group called the DM Alliance. I'm part of the DM Alliance. And that's one. He put me in touch with a guy named Tim Bratz. I'm part of the Legacy Boardroom. I'm a part of another group called 365 Driven by Tony Watley. All serious players, by the way. Arete. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Arete program. That's Andy Frisella and Ed Milet. I'm part of that. I'm part of a thing called Not Most People. I have my own group called The Inner Circle. This is a great tip. I know we're running out of time here, but if you want to do something in this world, if you want more attention, or if you want to have some type of opportunity, you have to be the example. When I realized was like, wow, I want to be accepted in a lot of these groups. I want people to invite me into their groups. So I created my own group called The Inner Circle. And that in itself, by being the example, kind of represented to other masterminds to say, "Hey, this guy is serious about his journey. He's committed to his craft. Would you like to be a part of this group?" So those are just a few that I'm very active in. Cash Profit Accelerator, Tyler McBroom. If you're familiar with him, he's one of the big tax guys online. He just talks about how to save money on taxes. Incredible individual, probably one of the most successful when it comes to working with authors. He uses his book so properly. probably one of our most successful on the back end. When I say he generates leads with his book, he is able to monetize it 1,000 different ways on the back end. So Tyler McBroom's Cash Profit Accelerator, another big one. Those are just a few. I could probably keep going on, but those are the ones I'm very committed to. Oh, and Allies Mastermind. I guess I'm sort of a part of the Chris Root event, the Allies Mastermind, which is another biggie.
So amongst those mastermind groups, do you see a lot of value in the larger masterminds or the ones that are a little bit more exclusive?
Smaller. Yeah. Smaller is better. Yep. That's it. I do recommend if you're going to join a mastermind, 200 people or less. Legacy Boardroom is a 200 member or less. I think it might be right around 200. I noticed that is probably the max that I'll look into when it comes to joining these masterminds. Arete, I will say that I don't get much out of it like I used to. That's huge. There's probably thousands of members now. So it used to be like the blue check mark for entrepreneurs. Gotcha. But I'm telling you, DM Alliance and 365 Driven, what's amazing is that if you stand out in certain groups and you're active, you're committed, you show up, you're there. You also provide enough value that you put out a book, you have your podcast, you're interviewing big names, your value goes up in that social credit system. So they're going to say, you know what, I'm putting together my next event. Would you like to come and speak at that event? So almost overnight, by joining these masterminds, you have access to people, you could prove yourself to them, and then you'll have opportunity after opportunity, whether they're direct clients or they just trust in who you are. If you show up every day online, chances are you love what you do, and those people want to be around individuals like that.
Okay, and you said you run your own mastermind, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. So if someone was thinking about starting a mastermind, what are some tips that you would give them, requirements and so on and so forth?
Yeah. So I think it says less than 1 minute here. So I don't know if that matters. Tips on creating your own mastermind: become very clear on who you want to be around. Make it very well known that what you stand for, because you're going to attract exactly like that. If you're foggy, you're going to attract foggy. If you're clear, you're going to attract clear. If you're a patriot, you're going to attract patriots. If you don't know what you stand for, chances are you're going to attract the wrong people, and you can't monetize that.
Yeah. Gotcha. You gotta get this in quick. Tell them how they're going to find you. We got to close this out.
At the Dream Starter or dreamstarterspublishing.com. Check it out. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm here for you guys.
All right, man. Mike, thank you so much. We'll be connected and send you some business, brother, man.
You got it, guys. Thank you.